So I gotta ask you guys a question. Have any of you been watching the new season of Rick and Morty? Have any of you been enjoying it? Because I have. I'm 3 episodes in so far, and I've really enjoyed this season. I'm not gonna lie. Not even not having Justin Roiland on it, it hasn't affected it at all, and you adjust to the new voice actors pretty much instantly. But if you guys haven't seen it yet, please do, because we're gonna talk about it a little bit on this episode. Because unfortunately for all of you, we've got the quartering today, and he's got some words about Rick and Morty.
What's on, everyone? Jeremy here from the quartering. I hope you're having an absolutely wonderful day. It's fall. Fall is in the air, and some of the most popular programs are returning to television. One of the ones I was most curious about was the return of Rick and Morty, given that they fired the creator of the show and the guy that voiced all the main characters that people cared about for a claim that was ultimately disproven. I thought for certain that they would have brought him back. They should have never fired him based on just...
So, hold on a second. Here's the thing with the Justin Roiland claims. Here's the thing with the Justin Roiland stuff. When you are making a show, when you make a decision to take somebody off of a show, to terminate contract, you don't just randomly bring them back in. The decision to terminate contract was made. Also, Justin Roiland, he was not convicted of anything legally, but wasn't all of the evidence still there against him? But it isn't that also true? Also, when Dan was talking about what happened with Justin Roiland stopped having a part in writing that show a long time ago. And the reason for that was that Dan Harmon wanted to streamline the process for Justin as much as possible. He wanted to streamline that process for him so that it did not... He could basically just do the voice acting thing. He could be lazy. That's what the goal was there, if memory serves, from what I remember reading in interviews. But let's go ahead and continue.
And him back, and the show is getting absolutely crushed online. Now, to me, you know, knowing that Roiland isn't there kind of taints the whole thing, and maybe that's true of the people that are reviewing it, but that...
I guarantee you it's true of the people that are reviewing it. I guarantee you most of the people who are going on to Rotten Tomatoes to do reviews are invested enough in the creation of the show that they have their own opinions on replacing a voice actor. I guarantee that.
That said, most of these like woke journalists and stuff are actually going out of their way to talk about how it's not bad, it's okay. Look, I've heard the voices. Obviously, they're not the same. They're fine. Okay, if they were the first voice you ever heard, maybe people would react differently to it. But I don't know why they thought that they could bring this show back without the literal creator and main voice actor.
Again, the literal creator stopped being involved in the creative process of the show largely a while ago. Dan Harmon has been very, very vocal about that. That information is publicly available. If you want to hold issue with my stance on that, then hold issue with what Dan Harmon has said about the situation himself, please. That is a thing you get to do on your own time when you're done with this video.
In the first place. But the reviews are getting pretty interesting. By the way, site-wide, it's fall. Promo code FALLCOCO. 10% off.
No, we're not doing your plug.
Season 7, Rick and Morty.
When you do your plug, I do my plug. Instead of your plug, remember, DDLG Playground is a thing. You can go there. You can get a dildo to go fuck yourself with. Coupon code Suris. The priest is telling me to go in the party. I will go when I am damn well ready. I am the tank. I set the pace for the instance. If you don't like that, roll the tank yourself. Anyway.
A 50% loan. And peppermint
Oh, yeah, I see what's happening.
in particular, because that's only a Christmas flavor. Link in the description. Season 7, Rick and Morty. A 50% from critics. Now, it's just only so far, only 6 reviews, but I think it's curious that that more people didn't review it. Because if we look...
Is it curious that more people didn't review it? Is it? Does that really mean anything?
At the seasons, right? Season 1, 97%. Season 2, 91. Season 3, 96. Season 4, 96. Season 5, 86. So some cracks in the armor there. Then back up to 91 with Season 6. Or Season 5 was 86. Back up to 91. And then Season 7, it's at a 50% certified rotten. You know, and if you look at a lot of...
So bear in mind that certified rotten is only for, what, the very first episode? Or might even only have been for the cold open. I'm actually curious what it is right now. Let's see here. Rick and Morty, Rotten Tomatoes. It might be around the same right now. But let's very quickly... Huh. So it's crawling back up. It's at 73% right now. It's at 73% right now, which means all of the good reviews are in, and the good reviews are just dealing with the review bombs for data. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. So this meant nothing. This was literally just the quartering doing his usual stick of alarmism. Aha, guys. Look at this. This meant that the show is in a bad spot. It was dying. It was horrible. Look at all these things. People are not liking this. They got rid of the voice actor, and I don't like it. Pee-pee not hard when hear Morty go, "Wah!" And then suddenly you look at the reviews now, you're like, oh, wait a minute, hold on. Hold on. Now that the people whose attention spans are like the breadth of a needle tip, now that those people are done review bombing it, all you have left is a decent positive score that's going to crawl up with time. Okay.
The reviews, what I find is interesting is nobody has the stones to come out and say the real reason they don't like the show. The real reason the show isn't as good as it used to be is because you got rid of the freaking creator and the main voice actor. And the idea that they're continuing this show without Justin Roiland is baffling to me. And to be honest...
Okay, but you're basically saying I can predict what is on people's minds. I can predict what people are thinking. And I think that the reason that people don't like the show is that it doesn't have the creator that it had before. You are basically saying that you can read their minds. That's what you're doing. You are saying that you can read their minds. Nobody has the stones to say the real reason this is happening. Or people do have the stones and they are just saying they don't like what they're seeing at the time. Again, this is further evidenced by the fact that the reviews are becoming better. Hold on a second. I just need... can you predict why it feels too big for bodily happy shout later? No?
With you, even if it's good, okay, this is my opinion. Even if it's like okay, if it's Family Guy, late season Family Guy, right? Mm-hmm. Where it's like it's fine for a laugh here and there. Okay, I can't support it because of what they did to Justin Roiland. Now I'm not saying.
My guy, you can. Don't even. You're sponsored by literal Nazis. Your morals are not so squeaky clean that you need to have that fucking opinion. Not at all. Holy shit. Dude who's literally sponsored by Nazis. Nazis. I just can't support this. Yeah, you can. You're fine. You're not above this shit. You shop at Walmart like the rest of us. Very unstable aggro. Yeah, because everybody's hitting before I get a chance to sunder. I don't know what you want from me. Jesus Christ. Very unstable aggro. Of course it's unstable aggro. That's how threat works.
Saying that guy's perfect. What I am saying is that he was fired for a claim that was ultimately proven incorrect and not given his position back. The episodes are fun, slightly clever, but wildly uneven. I don't know this, however, if I may speak more on the classic truncation of the comedy's own ambition, or of failing to find a new direction. Jake Kleinman writes, it's become increasingly clear that the once brilliant sci-fi cartoon has run out of ideas, and we may be at the very start of a long and painful slog to the finish, even if there's still some fun to be had along the way. Well, I mean, last season, the critics gave it a 91 or 92%. So it's like, oh, you're just going to ignore that everyone universally...
No, they're not ignoring it. It's that you're using an incredibly small sample size right now. You're using an incredibly small sample size right now, and then judging everything off of that incredibly small sample size. All you have is the tiny sample size right now. And as we know from looking at the reviews right now, we have future knowledge. The future knowledge we have shows us that actually those numbers rise back up. Now, why do those numbers rise back up? Well, largely it's because as more information about the show comes out, as more stuff is shown with the show, as more episodes come out, people have more meat to pull from. And as people have more meat to sink their teeth into, they can start developing a different opinion on the show, a more holistic opinion on the show. When you're basing everything off of reviews that have come in from a single episode, maybe not even a full episode, the fucking cold open at best, you're going to work with partial data. It's not going to be enough to form a full and coherent conclusion. But is the quartering going to take that information and do a retread of this as more reviews come in and more people go, hey, we have more opinions on the show? Is that going to happen? Probably not. Because that's not Jeremy's MO. Sensationalism is his MO. Getting people to react to things is his MO. That's what he's been for years. I really wish these people would come down the stairs.
Like the very last season, there's a positive. Whatever character voice is necessary, Rick and Morty still has it, even if its comedic voice isn't its strongest possible display at the start of the new season. Season 7 moves in the opposite direction, recentering Rick and Morty as the leads without seriously involving them, and once again sidelining Summer and Beth to give Jerry more screen time. So Allison from IndieWire whines that the women don't have more screen time.
So it's largely because in earlier seasons, there was a lot of time spent developing Beth with the Clone Beth storyline. There was a lot of time developing Summer. Summer was brought in on a lot of adventures, especially if memory serves in season 3, right? There were a lot of times where Summer was brought in on adventures, and she's not brought in as much now. That's just a general thing that's happened with the show. I don't think that has anything to do with somebody going like, the women don't have more representation here. Some people just genuinely like Beth because of her attitude. They like Summer because, well, again, she's a character with attitude. And a lot of people don't like Jerry because he's largely a bit of a spineless coward. That's his character. Not everybody is here for that. I like Jerry, but
I like Summer, by the way. Like, Summer's funny. And Beth is funny, but I do think it's funny that you give it a negative because they didn't give the women more screen time. I think you see inverse. Rick and Morty season 7, the final nail in the coffin of this once brilliant cartoon. Writing this review of Rick and Morty season 7 is going to be very difficult. It's become so popular that at this point you're either a diehard fan or refuse to watch it on principle. Either way, just this review probably isn't going to change your mind on the show. 2, the controversy around Roiland's firing and the replacement only heightens the strong opinions we already have about Rick and Morty. 3, Adult Swim sent me a list of spoilers to avoid. that basically kneecaps any attempt to describe anything that actually happens in the first 2 episodes of Season 7 provided
Okay,
for
so
review.
this is based on the first 2 episodes. Okay.
You see, the Rick and Morty formula should be simple. Parody a genre or trope, introduce a clever twist, and occasionally say something about canon. But as we enter the back half of the show's 100-episode deal with Adult Swim, it's become increasingly clear that the once brilliant sci-fi cartoon has run out of ideas, and we may be at the start of a very long and painful slog to the finish, even if there's some laughs along the way.
Okay, so he's rehashing the same stuff here. So he's at this point just reading the reviews, and I don't need to sit through all of that from Jeremy. I don't. We've gotten what we need to out of the video. We know what his opinions on the current Rick and Morty situation are. We know what he's doing, and we know that the data he's working with is completely incomplete. We know he's working off incomplete data, and we know that everything here is operating off incomplete data. We know that the numbers change after a little bit. Like, we know all that. We don't really have anything else to glean from this besides just listening to Jerry speak. Or, not Jerry, Jeremy. Just called the quartering Jerry. Sorry, Jerry's more endearing than Jeremy is. I don't think I remember Jerry pissing in the basement. Not ever. But I guess this is where I gotta throw it to you guys. Those of you who are enjoying Rick and Morty right now, those of you who have been watching, what do you think of the current season? Do you enjoy what's been going on in it? Do you have a horse in the race of the Justin Roiland situation? Do you think that the quartering made any good points? I don't... that last one was a joke. That last one was a joke. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you would be so kind. As always, everybody, insert end of video tagline here. Welcome to the end of the video, everybody. Let's go ahead and get into the fan art section before we send you off to the credits where I plug myself. Not in that way, you weirdos. This one is from Riley. I've been watching for a while. Finally joined the Discord because this concept has been stewing in my brain for a while. Been in a sort of art block where I don't like how it looks with other stuff, and this just brought me joy, so it was fun to make. I'm obsessed with Genshin Impact, and I started thinking about the idea of Suris as a lost archon of a forgotten slime swamp nation. Hope my handwriting is legible. It's Suris Archon Slime, element symbol, summons in a skill, summons in a jar. You know, I should probably play some Genshin Impact again. It's been a while. It's been a while. We'll do that on stream, I think. The next one we have here is from Teliladar. I Lego'd Suris. So you did. The last one we have here is from Girl with Face. Made Suris in reroll. I love the reroll ones. I love the pixelated stuff. If you can't tell from the look of the model right now. As always, everybody, thank you all for your fan art submissions. If you want your fan art to be shown in a future video, the best way to do so is to drop it into the fan art section of the Discord. With that said, let's go ahead and get right to the credits. Thank you, guys. Hey, I just quickly want to give a thank you to all of my wonderful patrons who keep this show running. YouTube and Twitch are a pretty bumpy ride at the best of times, and the stability that Patreon provides me is worth more than I can say here. I'd also like to thank each and every one of my $20 and up patrons here, and they would be Britzkrieg, Cameron, Dren, Jemshin, Smiling DM, Poundini, Mabbity Babbity, Naomi, Isaac, Agamotto, Jordan, Ravi, Giuni, Kiratorian, Prisma, all of you. I'm not saying that part. And Starlight. And finally, thank you to everyone else that helps keep this channel alive. While you're here, why not check out another video? And thank you for watching.